Well, hello, dear diary. I'm Cheyenne, and it was 20th of May of 2022. It is currently 12:43 a.m., which means we are in 21st of May 2022. And today I woke up late as always. Well, not always. I used to wake up early, but, well, let's say, yeah, I meditated as I do every day, and I wasted a bunch of time. And almost as soon as I started to work on my calling and listen to TED Talks and write down points, my dad comes in and tells me to go out with him. Well, he suggested, and I accepted. I wouldn't blame him for that, but we did that. And we went on one of my aunt's new house, and, well, my dad had this idea that we gotta wash their carpet. So we go back, we pick up another car that's for the car is a bigger car. We could put the carpet in it, and the car belongs to the company that my dad is working for. So, and the company gives it to its workers. So we pick up the car, we go put the carpets in the car. It was a bunch of carpets. It was a lot of them. Enough to put in a full house. I would say a normal size, not a really king-sized house, but it wasn't a small house too. Anyways, we get the carpets, we come back to our house, and my dad picks up three of my aunts, and with my mom and me, and we all started to wash the carpets. And like, we were a lot of people, but it took, I would say, 3-4 hours to wash them all. So we did that, and it's already nighttime. I don't know, maybe 5 hours, whatever. It's already nighttime, and everyone want to have dinner. But it's Friday, which means I go out with Daniel. So I told my dad and picked up the car, our own car, not that car. Whatever, you know what I mean. I pick up the car, I go pick Daniel up, we go out in the woods. I wouldn't say in the woods, it's not a jungle, but it's in the nature. So we go about, let's say, an hour into the nature, out the town, and we sit down, we record a podcast together. The first episode of our new podcast. We don't even have a name for it yet. And then we come back. We had some fun. We come back. It's past 12. I deliver him before 12 at their home. And he said his parents didn't fuck him up for being late, so that's good. No. I come back, I'm really tired. I didn't have dinner because I was in a hurry to leave, so I had dinner. And I'm recording this now. Tired as fuck, though. Very damn tired. Now, let me tell you, it's been 4 minutes, and I already told you all about the day. Damn. Also, during the TED Talk that I watched about, well, earlier in the day, it was late though. Anyways, um, it's said to write down the experiences that make you feel passionate or something. So what I picked up from it is like whenever I feel I like something, I don't like something, whenever I feel something, that's like the feeling, I'd write it down to come up with an idea of what I like and what I don't like and what I'm passionate about. And ultimately, the purpose is to find what's my calling. So I started I started to write down what I feel about certain things in a notebook, and we'll see how that goes. It's like a journal. It's like, yeah, it's like a journal, but mostly my diary is here. And I wanna go to. By the way, sorry for the noises. I'm in bed. As I said, I'm fucking tired, which means we have more noise because the microphone is also on bed, and if I go up and down, you know what I mean. So, the flower of feelings. Joy. I don't feel joy. I had some fun with Daniel out there, but like, it's it's just I know I had fun, but it doesn't make me happy. I don't know. It's a weird feeling. I feel down. Not that bad, but like I was just having fun with my friend and all of it is just gone. That's a weird feeling. Like it's not a weird feeling. It's so normal that the fun is just the happiness just disappeared, vanished. It's so normal that it sounds weird. I hope you get what I mean. I don't think if I was a listener I would get it, but I hope you do. I definitely don't feel love, for sure. Trust. Why would I feel trust out and over? Fear. Fear. Fear of the future. I always I always think about fear of the future, but is there any other fears that I feel? Fear of that I won't be able to make money. That's also fear of the future. Fear of becoming a slave in the worst way possible. I'm not so fearful about that. I know I'm gonna get fucked, but like I'm not fearful about that. I feel like it is what it is. I don't even feel like I'm gonna be pissed or sad because I know I'm going into something really horrible. And my expectations are fucked. So, because I already know, I think I won't be disappointed. Maybe. We'll see. Also, I'm talking to someone to have a better place. So, if I go by that and then end up in a worse place, well, that probably will be disappointed, but I don't know. I don't know what I will expect. Sadness. Sadness. Yeah, kind of feel it. I don't know why. There isn't any reason for me to feel sad, but I just feel down. Maybe because I'm just sleepy, tired. I don't know. I do have a bad feeling though. So shitty. Fuck life. Hate. When I see the word hate, I think of my parents. My mom specifically. Was it today? Was it today? I'm not sure. Maybe it was. Well, the thing is, she came in, she moved. Oh, wait, I talked about this. So it wasn't today? She moved my things? Did I? I feel like. Wow. So, anyways, I'm gonna say it again, anyways. I'm so confused. I talked about this before, but I don't feel like it's in the previous episode. I don't know. Now, I was dreaming already, dreaming about my mom moving my things, and I'm pissed. And I wake up to that. I wake up, and my mom is moving. I was in bed. I wasn't. God, I talked about this, but I just feel like it wasn't in here. But where else would I talk about it? And in English, my mother tongue is not English, so I'm only talking English here, or maybe just to myself. Well, my mom moved my bag into the wardrobe, and there was some plastic bags in there that I use. Then the fuck, there's water in those plastic bags, and I use those bags to cool my tablet off. My tablet is very old and it just overheats sometimes. Well, I wouldn't call it overheat, but it gets pretty hot. Your fingers would burn if you touch it. So I use plastic bags full of water to cool it off. And my mom just, I think, throw those bags away without asking and put my, oh, it's not a backpack, but it's a bag. Put my bag in their place. And of course, later on I pick it up and I put it in its own place. But God, don't touch my things. It's annoying. And she moved everything else to, like, everything that was on my desk to another place, and it's just, it pisses me off sometimes. Yeah, angry. Yeah, that's what I felt. Yeah, maybe, because I was meditating, maybe I was reflecting on something no, that's a no. No, I wasn't. I was reflecting on shit. So, regret, or like being sorry about something. I don't, I, I don't know. I don't know what's the definition of regret. I don't know what's being regretful. I haven't been regretful in a long time. It feels like, well, I do believe that mostly you don't have willpower. And, well, it's a long story. But based on that, I don't regret anything. It's like, it's not, I didn't do it, you know? It's not, I totally don't believe in it. It's in a way that will make sense. It's a long story. I can't just talk about it. Maybe I can. But I don't really, I'm not really into that right now. I'm tired. So, did I miss any other feelings? There's a feeling here that I don't know the translation of it. Disapproval? No. not disapproval, like not feeling like doing anything, being cold towards everything, being, is that being depressed? Not feeling like doing anything. I don't know what you call that feeling, but I kind of have that. I also, maybe I have confusion. Not really. I know I should watch and collect more information about calling and then decide about my calling and if I have one and if I want to make one or if I want to, what I want to do. Do I want to believe that the calling idea is just nonsense? What is it? What do I want? What is more logical? So basically, I know what I'm about to do. I'm not confused, but I am confused about my calling. I don't have one. I used to, but not anymore. Not anymore. Not anymore. So, let me talk to you a little bit about my ex-girlfriends. Now, it's funny. I'm not sure if this is making noise. Give me 5 seconds. No, it seems it is not making noise. So, let me talk about my exes a little bit, ex-girlfriends to be exact. Now, in the last episode, I think I talked about my ex-boyfriend, and that's let's say that's interesting, amazing, not amazing. That's interesting to now talk about my ex-girlfriend because I was just talking to my ex-boyfriend and it just finished. His 2 weeks just finished. And well, it finished in, like, I would say finished on good terms. We don't communicate, and I gave him 2 weeks just for that, so that I'm able to not communicate with him ever again. And but we finished on good terms. There was no just go fuck off. There was no someone feeling bad. There was no cutting someone off. I heard a noise. Okay, I was scared as fucked. As fucked. I'm still scared that someone's out there and is gonna come in and just ask me what I'm doing. I don't know. That's just scary to me. Okay, I've talked about this before. Now, the fact that my boyfriend was my first and my last, well, we ended things up a long time ago. But I cut off my girlfriends way before him. So it's a little bit weird that he was there before my girlfriends and also after my girlfriends. We had a connection, not in that way. We had a way of communication with my boyfriend, but my girlfriends, when they were done, we cut off. So, um, let's talk about my first girlfriend. It was an Indian girl, and both of these, well, I had two girlfriends in total, and both of these are long distance relationships. So my first girlfriend was an Indian girl who was trying to kill herself, and I caught her at that point. She was suicidal, and she was depressed, and I don't know how true was that. Like, I'm not saying that she was lying, but I don't know if she really did have the guts to kill herself. She had, I think she had tried before and failed. Woke up in a hospital. Um, but anyways, she was suicidal. I changed her mind. I became her friend. Close friends, and then, well, in a relationship. And I loved her so much that she left me. Like, I know, that's crazy. But basically, I did so many things. As a boyfriend, I know what I'm doing, and I usually do a lot of things to make the other person happy. And, like, this is a proof. She is a proof that I can do that because she was depressed. And a lot of days she would come on and say that she feels numb. She feels like detached emotionally. And I could bring that back. I could make her happy by the end of our conversation. And it's a long distance. I'm not there to caress her face. I'm not there to give her a gift. You know? I'm not there to look in her eyes and a smile. It's just mostly through text. And through that text with words, I'm able to make a depressed person happy. And I see that. I see that as, oh, wait a sec. I see that as a big achievement. Achievement. Now, I did a lot of those things, writing paragraphs of love and just send it to her. And, well, I don't know how old I was at the time. I was older than her. I was older than her. She was 14, I think, at the time. I was 17, 16. I don't know. I don't think that's creepy. A lot of people do. Fuck them, honestly. I'm really not in the mood to explain why I'm right. I'm tired. If we want to have an argument, bring it up. I'll fuck you up the ass. I'm not even sure that was a sentence. I'm tired. Now, I sent her so much love. She couldn't react to it, and she felt really bad not being able to react. Now, if you're into love and relationships, you would know that reaction is more important than action itself. Not that action doesn't matter, but if someone does something to express their love for you, you need to absolutely react to that and express love back. Because if they do that and you just don't do anything, you're just saying, I don't give a fuck about your love. So basically, she couldn't react properly, she didn't know how, and that annoyed her to a point she broke up with me. So basically, I loved her too much, she couldn't handle it. And that was it. And after that, sorry for changing my distance to the mic. After that, I felt like, well, what just happened? I saved someone's life and I got a broken heart for it. Wow. What a fair world. After that, my empathy was kind of fucked for a long time. It still is. Like, I don't go out of my way to help people like I used to. As you know already, I went out of my way to help someone who was trying to kill herself. I put so much time into that. The whole relationship was about 2 months long, I would say, even less. But it felt like so long because we were communicating a lot of hours each day. So, uh, well, earlier I said I got a broken heart out of saving someone's life, but that's not accurate. When the relationship ended, I was like, I did so good. I couldn't do better than this. Like, this was the best thing that I could do, and probably no one else can beat that. Like, I was a really good boyfriend in that relationship. I was, honestly, I did a lot of things. And, like, I couldn't possibly do better. That was the best that was possible. So, because of that, because I was so sure about that, because I knew what I was doing, I wasn't regretful. After it was ended, I wasn't I wasn't really sad because it wasn't my fault. I couldn't do better. And like she was grateful that I was there. I saved someone's life. Like it was all positive. She just couldn't handle it. It's not my fault that it's ended, you know. So I wasn't super sad. I wasn't even sad at all. I wasn't regretful because I walked out of something almost perfect. If you've seen Unas Anas, the last live stream, you know how Mark felt during that. That was me walking out of that relationship. My dad just walked into the room. Excuse me for this noise. My dad just walked into the room and told me to get the fuck to sleep. Not exactly in that literature, but well, he did. It's enough talking about my first girlfriend. The effect that she had on my life after we broke up was that I couldn't go out of my way to help other people as much as I did before. Because does it get worse than this? Like saving someone's life and then like get a broken heart for it? Does it get like can you do a better thing and get a worse thing out of that? So I was like, people's business is people's business. If they're fucked, my life is my life is probably worse than anyone else who can speak English. So well, that's not true, but it's an interesting kind of thing to say. Now, let's talk about my second girlfriend. We met up. We met basically. I won't go into a lot of detail because we don't have a lot of time. We basically met on a dating platform, a dating site. OkCupid, let's say. I saw her ID on Instagram, I think. Yeah, and then I went there and messaged her. And we became girlfriends and boyfriends, and we shared a lot of love. It didn't last long, though. I don't know how long. 2 weeks? My memory says it was 2 weeks. And, well, I would say that, like, the mistake that I made was the only thing I cared about was that she was also obsessed with love. And I didn't even make sure about that. I just asked her and she was like, yes. And I was like, okay, girlfriend, boyfriend. I went into that relationship so fast and I could see that we're different on so many levels. But I was like, well, she cares about love more than anything else. That means that She cares about me more than anything else. And that means that she would change all those other things if necessary because of love. So that was my excuse for entering a stupid relationship after 2 days. Yes, 2 days after we knew each other, we jumped in a relationship. That was stupid. I don't want to call myself a stupid. Not at all. And up to this point, I didn't. And I always want to say that going into that relationship after 2 days, for other people it may be a mistake, but I had reasons. But I don't know if that's true. Honestly, I don't. Um, Now, moving on, 2 weeks later, her phone broke, and I communicate to her through her mother. And like, I go search her name on Google and found her on Facebook. I researched more because I was worried. I didn't have any information from her for some days, and I realized her phone broke. I talked to some of her Facebook friends, some of her relatives. I ended up on her mom's Instagram. And well, although her phone was broken, but there was ways that even I suggested ways, for example, writing down letters for each other and then sending them off to Instagram, to her mother's Instagram. And her mother agreed to that, but it never happened. I wrote a letter, never got one back from her. So let me check on the time. Oh, we're too much into this episode. You know what? I'll make it 2 parts. Let's talk this out. Now, she ignored me for 20 days. 20 days? No, not fucking 20 days. For 2 months. 60 days. Like, at some point I called her mother, and her mother gave her the phone, and she was avoiding eye contact. And that was just... I'm not angry, but I feel disgusted. It was... I don't know. Like, you avoid eye contact with your boyfriend? It's like... It's just... I feel less than. I feel I'm being insulted. Anyways, she didn't try to contact me through her mother's phone, through anything. I messaged her mom, I talked to them. Well, her mother wasn't so responsive like, her English wasn't so good, but she could talk. She could communicate. Well, they didn't put a lot of time in that. And a really sad part of this was that my birthday was in that 2 months. And I felt really alone. I had a girlfriend at that point. And on my birthday, I felt so fucking alone. And I was trying my best, my hardest to communicate to her through her mom, and it ended up in a failure. Well, I told you before, I suggested that I would write letters. I did write letters, never get one back. And well, at the end, I was in so much pain. Didn't talk about this here so far. Well, guess what happens when you love your girlfriend so much and just she doesn't respond to you for a day? It's pain, honestly, for a day. I'm not saying for a year, for a single day. It's pain. After 2 days, she should be back. It's a lot of pain. 4 days and not knowing if she's alive, there should be some kind of a problem. Like, is her health okay? She had a disease actually, and I was worried that something happened to her. So, well, I think she had a blood disorder. Anyways, after 2 months, it's so much pain, and even more so, my calling was the love. Love was the thing, the single thing that I cared so much about more than anything else. Above all things, I cared about love. And that's a lot. 2 months of feeling ignored. 2 months. It was such a painful disaster. It was so bad. And through all this time, I'm trying to communicate. I'm trying to tell her mother what a shitty situation this is. Like, I'm not saying that they were in a good situation. They weren't rich, and probably if she had another phone, she would try to contact me. But, like, there was her mother's phone. Why didn't she use that? Even I called her mom, and her mom gave it to her, and I saw her, she was there, and like, you can't be just 24/7 busy, and I know she wasn't busy all the time. But anyways, here's what happened. And like, I'm communicating through this time. I'm telling her mom that this is painful. I don't know how much, like, after this I can handle this situation. I'm in so much pain. And guess what she says? Guess what her response is? She just sends me a smiley emoji face. And that was like, honestly, it was funny because I think she didn't understand what I said there. She probably misunderstood that. But anyways, at the end, I'm in so much pain to be ignored by my own girlfriend. I'm in so much pain that I tell her mother that I can't possibly handle this pain anymore. And I give you a week. I give her a week to come back and explain why she wasn't there. Like I knew she couldn't get a logical reason. I knew that. But even if she would come back, just come back and not have a logical reason. Just coming back, I would probably give her a second chance. Because I always do that. I'm always up for giving second chances to people. Because people are people, they make mistakes. Anyways, as I was expecting that, as I was expecting, a week goes by, she doesn't come back. And I was like, I'm not gonna handle this pain anymore. And I left. I blocked her mom, I blocked her. I honestly didn't check my Facebook after that. Maybe she messaged me there. I don't wanna check my Facebook. I don't want to communicate with her anymore. It was so painful. And clearly, she didn't give a fuck about me. Now, I know this is possible that all of her actions have logical reasons that I cannot see. I know that is possible. But the possibility is so low that it doesn't worth so much pain. Now, her existence in my life affected me far worse than anything else. Now, it's not her fault. I don't think this is her fault. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. It probably is. But it's not intentional. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't hate her because of this, but this probably had the worst impact on my life ever. After her, I don't feel love anymore. Like, I don't. I don't give a fuck about finding a girlfriend after her. I don't. I don't feel like I need it. I don't feel like I want a relationship. This is coming from a guy who his everything was love. I used to live for love. My calling was love, and I knew that. It was my everything. I used to research about love all the time. I still watch content about love, learn creative things to love people. But I just don't feel it anymore. I don't feel the joy. I don't feel the happiness that comes with love. And I don't feel motivated to take another step towards it. I don't feel that I want someone with me. Like, I mean, it's nice to have someone, but I feel like they deserve more if I want to have someone. They deserve the passionate person I used to be. Not me now who doesn't give a fuck about love. Well, it's not I don't give a fuck about it. I still do care. It's nice, but it's not everything. Not anymore. And it's so painful. I don't want to change to this person who doesn't care about love. I don't want this. I want my previous version of self. I want that person who would do anything to get love. I want that person who would sacrifice his life for love. I want to be that, but I can't control it. It's just the way I feel. I can't just snap my fingers and become what I used to be. And this happened after my second girlfriend, after she ignored me for 2 months. Wow. Or maybe, I'm not sure about this, but maybe also I learned something about relationships, and I entered an educational course about relationships, marriage, and love. And in that um, educational course, I learned that I'm not ready for a relationship. First of all, I don't have the sense of independence, mostly financially. I don't have the sense of independence. And second off, there is a slavery. I will have 2 years of my life in a slavery, you know. And if I have a girlfriend, they're gonna do what in 2 years? Like, my ex ignored me for 2 months and I got fucked. Am I gonna ignore someone for 2 years? Well, that won't happen though. Like I have solutions for that. For example, I write a letter. I write 7 letter each week that I come out of slavery, and she opens each one of them every day. So I communicate to her every day, and for each one she reads, she writes back 1 letter. That's a good idea, isn't it? Like, it's it's a good idea. I would give it a good out of good, you know? That's a good idea for someone who's a slave to have to communicate with someone you love. I give myself that I'm creative in a relationship, that I can come up with creative ways to make someone happy, and I think that's a big plus for me. Like, I don't give a fuck. I'd compliment the fuck out of myself about relationships because I know that I know better than most people. I know that. I've been on Reddit and giving advice to people who need relationships. I'm not saying that I'm a psychologist or anything. And on those advices, I always say, if you can go to a psychologist, I'm not a psychologist, I can be wrong. But my advice is usually better than a normal person who doesn't know shit about love. I've done my research. So the fact that today, like these days, I'm searching for a calling and I fail is, yes, it's because my ex-girlfriend, she did that to me. It wasn't intentional. I wouldn't blame her for this, but this is the outcome. A self without a calling, a person who's not passionate about anything, and that just hurts me. The fact that I used to have something to sacrifice my life for, and I don't have that now. It makes me feel bad. I really want my old self to be back, but that's not how it works. It makes me sad, man. It makes me sad. Another thing that I did for my ex, let me tell you 2 things that I did for my ex. I made a song. I wrote a poem. I made the music. I sang. First I sang, and then I remixed some music to put on the background of the song. And it didn't turn out perfect, of course. It was my first time doing something like that. But it was good. It was lovely. It was emotional. And I expressed a lot of love through that song. And I've never done that before. And that's like the ticket is burned now. I won't be able to do that for another girl after this because it's not as special anymore. Like, I've done this for someone else before, you know. I would feel bad if I do that. And I can't say, hey, I made a song for my ex, do you want one too? You know, I don't know, I feel like I burned that ticket. And I feel bad about that, you know. Who the fuck would leave you after you make him a song? God fucking damn it. Well, basically, I left her. She ignored me. She just... whatever. Another thing that I did, I made detailed art. It was written down, I love you, her name, I love you, then the name. And it was like in big capital letters, and inside the letters there was detailed art, and every letter was a different kind of art. And well, I'm not saying that I'm really good at being an artist and drawing things, but that turned out pretty damn good. That whole picture. And it took me, I don't know, more than a week, probably. It took me some time to make that. And it's in the bottom of the trash can. Yup, it's in the bottom of the trash can. Because when I end things up in relationships, that's it. Like, that's the end of things, basically. It's not very wise to stay friends with your exes or even have them around or even have things that reminds you of them around. If you were in love with them, it's gonna make you feel bad, probably. And like most of the time, when you keep a relationship with your ex, like at least one of the two people will go through a lot of suffering because of that connection. And well, you know, well, I don't really feel like explaining more about this. It's 99% of the time um, a mistake to keep a connection with your ex. Even if you think it's a good thing to have that connection, and they say that it is, you don't know how they feel about it, you know. You can look up in YouTube and find out reasons why it's not a good idea to have a relationship with your ex, to have a friendship, let's say, with your ex. And sometimes people can handle it. I know that. I know some people do that. But it's not wise, you know. Like, considering the probabilities, you better don't do it. And that's about it. I don't want to explain more about it. I know there's probably some people who disagree with me. And they can be. They can be. Let them. I'm not living their life. I just want to say fuck them. But no, let's uh you know what? I want to be myself here and say fuck them. Fuck their idea. Yeah, I'm right. I'm always right. Fuck them. You don't do that. You don't do that on a public piece of content. Well, that's about it. I hope you have a great day or night, and I hope you enjoyed this tired episode of me, which was longer than usual. And I hope that you'll feel a lot of happiness and you'll find a lot of happiness in the future as well. Thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you later. Podcast out.